presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
This is Bill Rickey, manager of the Los Angeles Angels, welcoming you here to Anaheim Stadium, the new home of the Angels in 1966. This is going to be one of the finest ballparks to watch a ball game anywhere in baseball.
For 50 years at Angel Stadium, every moment has mattered.
The Angels, for the first time in 19 years, win the Western Division title.
Every play matters. And at the wall, Trout leaps up, and he got it! Oh my! Are you serious? And every game matters.
Fly ball center field. Erstad says he's got it. Erstad makes the catch. The Anaheim Angels are the champions of baseball.
As Angel Stadium turns 50, the Halos hope to celebrate all season with the game's best player, a surefire Hall of Famer, a powerful core, and some strong arms. A return to the playoffs matters. It begins with a visit from the Chicago Cubs, who some say are the World Series favorites. The 2016 season opener is next on Fox Sports West.
The calendar has turned. The exhibition games are final. That can only mean one thing. It is time for opening day. Tonight from the Big A on a beautiful night for baseball, the Angels welcome in the Chicago Cubs for the first of two as the Halos get ready to kick off the 2016 season. A lot of folks in attendance. The lineups announced on the field. Everyone is excited. They had a big old flyover and even some fireworks before the game as we welcome you inside the Big A and back to Angels baseball once again. It is our pleasure to bring it to you here on Fox Sports West. Along with Mark Gubiza, I'm Victor Rojas. And while a lot of talk happened in the offseason is what the Angels didn't do, they certainly made a lot of moves. 7 new players on the 25-man roster, and it all begins with number 27 himself, Mike Trout.
One of the generational type players, Victor. He's put up some unbelievable numbers in his first 4 years. He can do it all, and he thrills us every single night. He does it with his power. He can drive the ball out of the ballpark. 41 home runs last year. He crushed the ball, hits all fields. He can steal some bases. 11 bags. He says he's going to steal some more bases this season. That defensive plays out in the outfield. That one in center field, one of the best you will ever see, and he is clutch. 3 career walk-off home runs for Mike Trout. So it's, especially when it comes to opening days, he always does well on opening day, especially that first at bat. So looking forward to Mike Trout doing what he does best, the spectacular.
Well, usually on opening day, you get a very good pitching matchup. We certainly have one today. Garrett Richards making his first opening day start as a big leaguer. Jake Arrieta, the reigning National League Cy Young Award winner.
And it is loud. That catcher mitt is going to be loud popping tonight with these two guys on the mound. I'll tell you what, I looked at a lot of opening assignments here today in baseball. This, for me, is the most intriguing. You got the Cy Young Award winner, Jake Arrieta, what he did last season. Garrett Richards throwing 100 miles an hour in spring training. Oni is going to get better. He's added a changeup to go along with his two-seamer. This is going to be a blast tonight.
As we mentioned, gorgeous night for baseball on opening day. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back and relax. We're kicking off the 2016 season when we return.
Beautiful shot of Angel Stadium celebrating its 50th birthday this season, and she looks gorgeous tonight, folks. I tell you what, the field looks amazing, so credit to the grounds crew. Barney Lopez has done a terrific job with this field. So
looks unbelievable.
Yeah, hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Let's take a look at Joe Madden's starting lineup for the Chicago Cubs. They had a 97-65 mark a season ago. They welcome back Dexter Fowler to lead things off. He's in center. Jason Hayward's the new right fielder. Ben Zobrist, the new second baseman. Anthony Rizzo, the left-hand hitting first baseman. A lot of pop in that bat. He's the cleanup hitter at first base. Chris Bryant is over at third base. Kyle Schwarber in left field. Jorge Soler serving as the DH tonight. Miguel Montero, the veteran from Venezuela, is behind the plate. Addison Russell, the hotshot shortstop, will bat ninth for the visiting Chicago Cubs. They are taking on the 27-year-old right-hander, native of Edmond, Oklahoma, making his first opening day start. His name is Garrett Richards.
Yeah, 15-game winner, career high in innings, wins, and strikeouts last year for G-Rich. Threw the ball very well in spring training. Fastball was excellent, but his changeup, that's a pitch to look for tonight. His changeup in command of it.
Let's take a look at the defense behind Garrett Richards tonight. Daniel Nava in left field, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun at right. The infield, new guys on the left side, Yunel Escobar and Andrelton Simmons on the left. Johnny Giavatelli and C.J. Cron on the right. Carlos Perez in his second season with the Angels is behind the plate.
Andrelton Simmons playing shortstop, is a Gold Glover multiple times. One of the best fielding shortstops you're going to see. And with Richards on the mound, going to get a lot of action, a lot of ground ball action his way.
Dexter Fowler settles into the batter's box. A free agent this offseason, ended up signing and re-signing, I should say, with the Cubbies. First one of the 2016 season is down low for ball one. Fowler a season ago hit .250, 17 home runs and 46 runs batted in. 20 stolen bases for the switch-hitting outfielder. This one pulled down the line. It is a fair ball. Calhoun over to cut it off, does so. Fowler keeps on running, and he is in there safely with a leadoff double.
Fowler with good numbers career-wise against Richards, 3 for 6. Now 4 for 7. The pitch on the inner half of the plate and hits that right down the line by C.J. Cron in there, the corner for a double.
Especially with the velocity that Garrett possesses, you don't anticipate someone like Fowler pulling a pitch in off the plate like that. But the Cubs strike here with a leadoff double, and that'll bring up Jason Hayward, the right fielder. 3 infielders on the right side. Escobar stays home at third. Little chopper toward the middle. Simmons thought about going to third, but he'll take the easy out at first.
Pretty good indication how smart Simmons is. He thought about it. If he thought he had a shot at third, he was going to take a shot. But especially early in the game, taken out. With his throwing arm, there's always a chance that he can make a play.
Good indication as to who is on the mound for the Chicago Cubs. Well, now they're going to move the infield back. Simmons and Escobar were playing in for a second there. Socha just pushed them back. Ben Zobrist steps in now.
Still think early in the game, trust your offense. It's been very good this entire spring. You want to allow the Cubs to put themselves in a position to have a big inning. Try to minimize the damage here early.
Leadoff double for Fowler, moving to third on the ground out. Foul back off the mitt. No balls and 2 strikes. You mentioned the numbers that Fowler has had in limited experience against Garrett Richards. Zobrist has had a couple of more at-bats against Garrett Richards, and he has hit the ball well against him in his career. .545 average against Garrett. Signing a 4-year deal in the offseason. Split time last year with Oakland, finishing up last year with Kansas City. No balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, just underway. Zobrist goes down swinging, and there's out number 2.
Boy, that was a nasty slider. We talked about that in the pregame show. That wipeout slider he has. Got ahead of the count, trusted Carlos Perez to keep this in front of him, stayed on top. The rotation, downward action for a swing and miss against a guy that it's very difficult to get a swing and miss against.
So 2 outs, Rizzo at the plate. It's a lineup for the Chicago Cubs and Joe Maddon. If you're on the mound, there is really no rest. Unless you're playing a National League game, and maybe you have the pitcher spot.
That's what you look forward to in the National League ballparks against this team. They are loaded with some offense.
31 home runs and 101 runs batted in for Rizzo a season ago. Two-time All-Star, just 26 years of age. Takes the first one out of the strike zone. 38 doubles, 3 triples to go with those 31 home runs. Fowler leading off over at third. Able to count.
98-mile-an-hour fastball.
The veteran Ted Barrett calling the balls and strikes tonight. He's the crew chief.
Very good umpire.
Angel Hernandez at first, Lance Barksdale at second, Will Little at third. Umpiring crew for this 2-game series.
Joe Maddon managing this Cubs club.
Up the middle, and that'll bring another run. Fowler scores. 1-0 Cubs here in the top of the first.
Pitch up in the strike zone. Allow Rizzo to get his hands extended on it also. That might have been his changeup. It elevated it a little harder than you would want for your changeup, but especially early in the game. You're amped up a little bit, overthrew his changeup. It's a good pitch to throw, but location not quite there for Garrett Richards.
Chris Bryant takes inside. National League Rookie of the Year. 275 last year with 26 home runs. 99 runs batted in 151 games. Don't sleep on Rizzo at first base. 17 stolen bases last year. Breaking ball down. Swinging over it. 1-1. You can rack up some strikeouts against the Chicago Cubs. They led Major League Baseball with 1,518 last year. Chris Bryant had 199 of them. One and two.
It's kind of an angry fastball there from Richards. Upstairs at 98. Still a little bit upset with himself because he missed location with the changeup to Rizzo when he could have gone through that inning with no damage done. But a very good offense, Chicago, and they will make you pay when you make a mistake.
One-two now. Begin to chase a breaking ball. Rizzo stays home at first. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you're just joining us, Dexter Fowler led off the ball game with a double down the right field line. Moved to third on the ground out by Hayward. And after the strikeout of Zobrist, Rizzo with a base hit up the middle. .32 starts for Garrett Richards last year. A 15-game winner. Quick check.
And the thing with Richards told me even in spring training, it took a while just to get back to those good mechanics he developed a year before when he had that outstanding season before hurting his knee up in Boston.
This season delayed a little bit at the start of last year. Didn't make his first start till April 19th at Houston. Rizzo leaning, starts to go, then stops. Bryant swings over the top of it. Perez will throw to first, complete the strikeout, inning over, but the Cubs strike first. They get a run on a couple of hits. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Escobar, Nava, and Trout coming up for the Angels. First inning, so the Angels will bat here in the bottom of the frame, try to even that up. As we take a look at Mike Scioscia's starting lineup for the Angels in Game 1 of the 2016 season. Yunel Escobar will lead things off. He is at third base. Daniel Nava, the switch hitting left fielder, will bat second. Mike Trout, of course, in the 3-hole. He's in center. Albert Pujols serving at DH. Cole Calhoun at right. C.J. Cron is the first baseman. Andrelton Simmons, the shortstop. Carlos Perez behind the plate, and Johnny Giavotella batting ninth and playing second base. They are taking on the 30-year-old right-hander native of Plano, Texas. We mentioned the reigning National League Cy Young Award winner, 22-game winner a season ago, Gooby. His name is Jake Arrieta.
Arrieta fastball, a good one, 92 to 97. Will throw a cut fastball. He'll throw a slider that those two pitches almost look exactly the same. Curveball, changeup, a lot of strikes thrown. Opponents only hit 185 against him last year.
Heard a little roar there as we were going through those introductions. They just showed Rod Carew up on the screen. He's in attendance.
Great to see.
Great to see him with the winter that he went through. Continued health for Rod. The first one tonight bounces out in front of the plate for ball one from Arrieta.
And one thing you'll notice about Arrieta, he throws across his body, so he has good deception.
There's Rod. 2-9.
What a great guy and what a player.
Great to see him. Two balls and no strikes on the newest Angel, Yunel Escobar. Mentioned 7 new faces on this 25-man roster. He's one of them. Acquired in an offseason deal with the Washington Nationals. Last year, 314, 9 home runs. Drove in 56. That's a little dribber on the left side. Arrieta off the mound. There's the first out of the bottom of the first. Defensively for the Cubs tonight, Schwarber, Fowler, and Hayward from left to right in the outfield. It's Bryant, Russell, Zobrist, and Rizzo from third to first, and Montero behind the plate.
Yeah, pretty solid defensive team for him, but Chris Bryant over at third base, 136 starts at third base last season, 17 errors. Does have a strong throwing arm. Played some left field, played some center and right. Solid at third base.
Daniel Nava steps in. Mentioned the 7 new faces. You get 2 early on. Nava takes outside. Switch hitting outfielder. Signed in the offseason along with Craig Gentry to man that left field spot. He's played in 60 games last year between Tampa and Boston. A thumb injury that bothered him on the left hand. Managed to hit just 194. Good track record for a guy that was never drafted out of college. Ended up going the independent ball route. He skies one out toward right center. Fowler moving back on it. And to his left is there. 2 down.
Center fielder, number 27, Mike Trout.
We talked about him in the open. 41 blast, 90 runs batted in last year. Hit 299. 41 home runs, tied him for second most in Angels franchise history. Troy Glaus hit 47 back in 2000. Breaking pitch, and that's lined to second, and the Angels go down in orders. Arrieta has himself a shutdown inning. We head to the second, 1-0 Cubs. Top of the second. Schwarber, Soler, and what do we got going? Montero. Pardon me. Lost my place in the book. It's the second inning already. It's going to be a long season, brother.
But a good season.
Yeah. Take the eye off the ball and you're in trouble.
Look it into the glove each time with two hands.
Baby steps. Game one. Schwarber, the left fielder, hit 246 last year in 68 games. 16 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Quick rise for the youngster. First round pick, 4th overall at Indiana University. Catcher by trade, but playing left field. Joe Madden opting to have Jorge Soler serve at the DH tonight. A couple of strikeouts for Richards in the first. Gave up the first run of the game. Is that 97 mile per hour fastball? Catches the corner.
As we see once again the shift on the lefty batter, even against Richards, who throws 97, 98.
Down goes Schwarber, and there's out number one.
And my Hyundai key for this game, it's basically because of what we're feeling here and seeing here. We're going a little Faith No More epic. What a game this is. Chicago Cubs in town, open up the season. The stars, Trout, Rizzo, Pujols, Russell, Hayward, and then this great pitching matchup.
First one to Soler is cut on and missed. Native of Cuba, at 262 last season, 10 home runs at 47 runs batted in. Just off the plate. Soler signing a 9-year deal after defecting from Cuba. He was back in 2012. Just 24 years of age. Fouled out of play.
Almost a nice play by a fan in the stand. Brought the glove. Able to corral.
Only use one hand. See? Needed the two hands to make
Get
the
you in
play.
trouble.
Yep.
One ball, 2 strikes. Little dribbler on the right side. Garrett. Throw out Soler, 2 down. This week only, T-Mobile customers can get a free season log subscription to MLB.TV Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest growing LTE network. So 2 down, bases clear for Montero. "32-year-old native of Venezuela. 248 last year. 15 home runs, 11 doubles, 53 RBIs. The Chicago Cubs team, imagine their record, 97-65. They played well out on the road last year, 48-33 away from Wrigley Field. Average wise as a team, hit just 244. That was 14th in the National League. They were 5th in home runs, 6th in runs scored, 5th in on base percentage, 7th in slugging.
Boy, Joe did an outstanding job with the Chicago Cubs last year, way ahead of schedule. They anticipated being competitive maybe this year or even the following year. Made the playoffs last year.
Just missed low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They won the second wild card spot. Made it to NLCS. They were defeated by the Mets 3-1. But you can understand why everyone likes the Cubs in 2016.
It's a real tough division they're in, though, with St. Louis and Pittsburgh. Man, last year had one of those years for the ages. Jake Arrieta. I think that calming influence of Joe Madden allowed the youngsters to grow.
Two balls and two strikes. 2 outs here in the second. Going back to that off-speed pitch.
It's better, a little bit better velocity as far as the changeup. That one at 90. And you're sitting at home thinking, well, what about a changeup around 80, 81? But because of Richards, Greinke, Felix Hernandez both have their changeups around 88 to 90 range.
And down goes Montero. 1, 2, 3 inning for Garrett Richards. 4 strikeouts through 2, but the Halos are down 1-0. Albert Pujols to lead things off for the Angels here in the bottom of the second, down 1-0. Pujols, Calhoun, and Cron against Jake Arrieta. Had himself a 1-2-3 first. Albert fouls the first pitch. 16th season for Albert in the big leagues. 244 last year with 40 home runs, 95 RBIs. First time he had hit that 40 home run plateau since 2010 when he hit 42.
Has 56 career home runs against the Chicago Cubs. Right-handed batters hit a little bit better than lefties against Jake Arrieta last year. 207 with 7 home runs compared to 159 for left-handed batters against him.
Tough to double up a season like Jake Arrieta last year, leading Major League Baseball with those 22 wins, an ERA of 1.77. It's the lowest ERA a Cubs qualifying pitcher had in 96 years. Just put it all together. He's lined out toward left field. Schwarber coming in. He'll make the catch. 1 down.
Yeah, 4 complete games, 3 shutouts, a no-hitter. Career high as far as innings, strikeouts, wins, obviously. Put it all together. What a phenomenal run he had in the second half.
Had no hitter August 30 at the Dodger Stadium. One of the winners of the Cy Young Award in Cubs history.
Three of them in the Hall of Fame there.
Cole lifts one Down the line, but slicing out of play. Gold Glove winner Cole Calhoun picked up the hardware in the offseason. Batting in the 5 spot. 26 home runs, 83 RBIs last year. And to work on cutting down the punch outs a little bit. High number for him, comparatively speaking, to his previous seasons in the big leagues. 164 last year. Previous high had been 104.
That nasty slider slash cut fastball he throws. You commit to a fastball, but then that sharp break at the end, unable to make contact.
That is ripped to right and a base hit. Halos get their first base runner. It comes with an out here in the 2nd.
It's a good swing for Cole Calhoun against Jake Arrieta. Not many Dodgers had swings against him last year back in August 30th, when he threw a no-hitter against the Los Angeles Dodgers. You can see that nasty slider working down and in throughout. What a season, what a game he had against the Dodgers last August.
Yeah, everything just saw the sequence there, the different at-bats. Everything disappeared. Regardless of the pitch, it just bottom fell off.
Remember when he was with Baltimore, we were both saying, boy, he'd be a nice guy to pick up, because you just feel that he's at some point going to develop into something good. Well, obviously you didn't know it was going to be that good, but he always had that good live arm, fastball rushing in mid-90s, and a good slider to go along with the changeup. Fields his position extremely well, but you can steal against him. 27 stolen bases against him in 33 attempts. This one pickoff last year, 3 in his career. Overall in his career, base stealers have been successful 89 of 110 attempts against Jake Arrieta.
5th round pick by the Orioles out of TCU. 2007, he got traded to the Cubs back in 2013. This one's lifted out toward right center field, not very deep. Fowler moving over, but it was Hayward calling him off. 2 outs. And I remember back in those days, 2010, 2011, he made 18 starts in 2011, had the elbow surgery. But even before that and after that, you talk to guys in the Orioles organization, their eyes never really lit up about Jake Arrieta, at least in the conversations that we had. Even like he's a nice pitcher, good guy.
Even with Jim Palmer, didn't think, he always felt he had good stuff. He didn't know if he was ever going to develop into the player that they thought.
Andrelton Simmons looks at a strike. 26-year-old native of Curacao. 265 last year for the Braves, 4 home runs and 44 runs batted in. Off-season deal with the Atlanta Braves. No balls, 2 strikes.
And Arrieta 0-1 in his career versus the Angels with an ERA 7.47.
Calhoun at first. Cubs scoring their run in the 1st inning. Anthony Rizzo with an RBI single, scoring Fowler from 3rd. The 0-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. The Angels are done here in the 2nd. We'll head to the 3rd. Cubs on top. Best of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Double Jack Burger today, only at Jack in the Box. And by the Jeep Renegade. Find your inner Renegade and reach your highest potential with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon.
1-0 Cubs, top of the third. Off the 2016 campaign. Cheers to you. Cheers to you at home. Thanks for joining us. Garrett Richards with 4 strikeouts, no walks, 2 hits allowed though, both in the first inning. Doubled by Dexter Fowler to lead off the ball game. He eventually scored. 9-1-2 for the Cubs here in the third inning. No balls and 2 strikes on Addison Russell.
Talk about a perfect pitch. Exactly where you want to throw it. At the knees, away at 98 from Richards. Now you could throw a slider at that same plane or try to elevate a fastball.
There's that elevation on the fastball. Two balls and 2 strikes. Garrett Lasher with 176 strikeouts and 207 in the third innings, both career highs for him. Goes to a full count after getting ahead at 0-2.
It's so difficult to get back to that good arm slot when you've overthrown 2 pitches in a row. You can see that on the slider. It's a little bit quick on it, trying to keep that front shoulder in a little longer. Stay back, think not overthrow, and hit that lower part of the strike zone.
And he walked him. Hey folks, you can host a business function or celebrate a special occasion in your own private suite here at the Big A. Suite rentals offer all-inclusive food and beverage packages. Visit angels.com/suites for more information. So leadoff man is on board, and Addison Russell, and here comes Dexter Fowler.
Russell with 4 stolen bases last year, caught 3 times. Pretty good size lead though.
Fowler takes a strike. '29 doubles last year. He's got 1 already this year. Another good lead for Russell at first. Fowler pulls this one to right field, a base hit. Pitcher's up in the zone. Russell will stop at second. Dexter Fowler's 2 for 2. Jason Hayward steps to the plate with nobody out and 2 on.
It's amazing when some guys just seem comfortable against you no matter how good your stuff is, and it seems to be that case with Fowler against Richards. Pitch up around belt high, stayed out over the plate. His hands threw that baseball very well, used the barrel of the bat. Not easy to do against Richards. It's pretty good speed on the bases now for Chicago. And pretty good speed at the plate with power in Hayward.
Hayward 0 for 1. He grounded out to Simmons, the shortstop in the first. And while he might be on the wrong side of a 1-0 score, Garrett Richards didn't come out with the butterflies, at least outwardly, where he was trying to throw everything through Carlos Perez. Good fastball there. Took something off of it.
Yeah, that might have been his changeup. That's the perfect speed. That movement at the end. That's going to be a neutralizing pitch for him against left-handed hitters. It's 4th time in this game he's been ahead of the count 0-2. He's ahead of the count 0-2 on Russell, then overthrew some pitches.
Buries the slider. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. 4 strikeouts and 1 walk. Ben Zobrist on deck.
Hayward, a 3-time Gold Glove Award winner, signing an 8-year deal in the offseason. Spent last year with St. Louis at 293 there with 13 home runs and 60 runs batted in. And down goes Hayward on the breaking ball. One away.
You'll get swings like that when you've established other pitches. He did that earlier in the at-bat against Hayward with a changeup and then that hard slider down and in. Starts around knee high and this bottom drops out in the dirt. Nice job by Carlos Perez too, keeping that in front.
So runners remain at first and second. One out. And here's Zobrist. He struck out in the first. Outfield straight around with Zobrist up, and he grounds this with the second base. Giavitello feeds Simmons for one. The relay back to first in time. So Garrett gets into a little trouble, works out of it. We head to the bottom of the third with the Cubs up 1-0.
Angels are 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. Nice defensive play in the middle infield. Finish off that last inning. Johnny Giavitello, the perfect feed to Anderson Simmons. A quick turn. It's something they worked on a lot in spring training. I asked Johnny Giavitello about that. He said he was with Simmons like every single day working on that as far as turning double plays and being in position to make good plays throughout the entire spring.
Carlos Perez, Johnny Giavitello, and Yunel Escobar for the Angels here in the third. Carlos getting the opening night nod behind the plate. Quite honestly earned it last year with his performance behind the plate, and offensively hit .250. 4 home runs and 21 runs batted in. Guys like throwing to him, calls a good game.
Quiet behind the plate with his hands and feet.
Ahead of the count of 3 balls and no strikes.
And it's really swung the bat well in camp, even the 4 games here since we came back from Arizona. Good swings against the Dodgers.
And there's a 4-pitch walk to start this third inning. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Surfrider Foundation in celebration of this month's Every Day is Earth Day initiative. By making simple changes in our daily lives, we can make a big impact on our environment. Go to foxsportsupports.com to learn more about what you can do to be part of the solution. No balls and a strike. Johnny Giavotella, spark plug last year. They're going into spring training competition to win a starting second base job, but he was the guy that came out and won the job at 272 for the Angels. 25 doubles, 5 triples, drove in 49. Fouls went off to the right. And the master of the head first slide into third.
Yes.
I mean, there's some serious
air. Yeah, he gets some air time on that.
Very short lead for Carlos at first base. Ground ball to short. Russell feeds Zobrist for 1. And Johnny gets to the bag before the relay throw. So the Cubs just get 1. Giavotella a little upset at himself chasing a pitch, perhaps trying to pull a pitch that was outside a little bit.
Yeah, that's a pitch you can do some damage going to right center field. Bit of a tough handle there for Russell. Zobrist quickly tries to throw her, but Johnny Giavotella beats it out at first. An important hustle down the line there for Giavotella, especially with Escobar up. You have options now the way he handles the bat as far as putting a hit and run on, especially that side of that right side of the infield. He's hit the ball very well there.
Escobar bounced one back to Arrieta in the first.
7 for 20 in his career versus Arrieta.
Lines this one, and glove by Zobrist, fires to first, and they turn to double play. Squared up by Yunel Escobar, but right to Zobrist, who got rid of it quickly. 3 complete, 1-0 Cubs.
Angels 1-0. Both managers Mike Scioscia, Joe Maddon, shared a special moment back in 2002. Remember that World Championship Club? Bud Black there on the right. Ron Renicky in that picture also. Joe Maddon, part of the organization for a long time, celebrated that 2002 World Championship.
Bud Black was in the booth yesterday, right?
Yes,
Billy Epler came by. Angels' new GM. Saw Eric Chavez yesterday too.
Yes. Still looks in great shape.
Yeah. Ball and a strike on Anthony Rizzo. RBI single in the first. New faces in the front office, new faces on the 40-man roster. Two and one.
Important inning here for Garrett Richards. Put up a 0 as quickly as possible because you have that good part of your lineup coming up at this point. Middle part with Trout and Pujols coming up after Daniel Nava leads off.
Five strikeouts for Garrett, 1 walk. Up and away. 3-1. It's back-to-back innings, which Garrett is allowed a leadoff walk. Worked out of it in the third. See what happens here in the fourth with Chris Bryant coming up. That's a number that was up for Garrett last year too. The walks, 76 of them to go with 176 strikeouts.
Yeah, and he told me part of that reason was just trying to get back to that same flow he had going the year before as far as mechanics, consistently hitting his spots.
Ran that fastball in, and Bryant just fouls it off his body. No balls and a strike.
That can't be fun as a hitter, dealing with 98 running in like that. Right above the knee.
Somehow I failed to hear the sincerity in your voice as a former pitcher.
I like good movement on the fastball.
Oh yeah, I feel really bad for him.
Yes. Now you run another one back it in there to get a ground ball. Much easier double play turn.
There's my guy.
Yeah, there
He's
you
back.
go.
Quick check. Rizzo.
Almost got him.
Yeah. Decided to go in standing up. Mentioned the 17 stolen bases he had last year.
Richard with a pick off last year, 1. That's a big lead. He thought about going. So he just got that back foot, and a lot of times we see guys go back with the diving back. They always go to that back part of the base, a little bit longer for the first baseman to apply a tag. That's what he did with his foot, Rizzo.
Back out again to a big lead.
He ran that fastball back in again.
No balls and 2 strikes. Big hole on the right side of the infield. Giavatello shading toward the middle, with Crone holding Rizzo on. It opens things up. So you pitch to your defense, right?
Stay inside with that fastball. If you're throwing the breaking ball, make sure it's down below the knees. It's like you're going back inside again.
He fouled it again. The temptation is to want to throw something hard away, isn't it?
Well, as a hitter, you know you're at some point you're looking out over the plate. The perfect one would be that 2-seam fastball underneath the hands. 5 times in this game for Richards. Head of the count 0-2. 3 of those first 4 times a strikeout.
Leadoff walk for Rizzo as he stands at first. Missed off the plate.
That's
Wanted
right.
That one.
That's a little bit off the plate, but that's a perfect pitch. So you see, just barely off the plate, according to our Fox tracks. But it's a perfect setup pitch. You can go slider away, or you can go back inside with a fastball, potentially get 2 outs with a ground ball.
Evens up the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. 51 pitches for Garrett. 31 have been strikes. Cubs getting their run in the first inning. A double by Fowler. 2 out, base it up the middle by Rizzo. 3 hits allowed by Richards. Fowler has 2 of them. 2-2 now. This down and in. Full count.
That's why I thought that pitch, the pitch before, would be that spot right there.
The 1-2 pitch?
Yeah, run that 2-seam fastball down and in. You're in protect mode at that point. When he sees a breaking ball, he's anticipating another breaking ball itself. When it starts on that plane, you can let it go.
See if Rizzo takes off here. Schwarber's on deck. Rizzo doesn't go, and there's a walk. So back-to-back walks, 2 of them, 2 of the 3 that he's issued. Started with 0-2 counts.
Here's tonight's Cold Hard Facts, which are brought to you by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light, like social looking on. He's played first opening game in interleague game back in 2013 at Cincinnati, in which the Angels won 3-1 in 13 innings.
And 13-degree weather,
yes,
too.
That went well. Because of the balanced number of teams in the National League and the American League, you're going to have interleague play throughout the entire season.
Yeah. It's the 4th season in which the Angels and the Cubs have met. 5-5 against the Cubs at their history in interleague play. Two on, nobody out. Here's Schwarber, the left fielder, who struck out in the second. One and 0. You mentioned the importance of this inning for Garrett, just because of the score and whom you got coming up in the 4th, bottom of the 4th.
Exactly, and then knowing who you're facing, and then you have that adrenaline for your first ever opening day start. You just got to try to slow the game down as much as possible. My mindset always in these situations was, I'm going to throw a fastball, I'm going to keep it down, and think in terms of getting 2 outs with just 1 swing of the bat. You got a very good athletic infield here for the Angels, and Garrett is a guy that gets a lot of ground ball outs.
He's thrown 1 double play already. That ended the last inning. Right after him, 2-1.
You think about ground balls and Richards, about 55.9% balls in play against on the ground against Richards. He can get the strikeout, but he's also very good at getting a ground ball.
Outfield straight around with Schwarber at the plate. Normal depth for all 3 guys. Little dribbler foul off the body. Evens the count. Schwarber, one of those 4 players, young players, this Cubs roster, the starting lineup tonight. 4 players under 25 years of age. First time they've had that since '75. Another youngster on deck at Soler. Fouls it back.
One thing you notice about the hitters for Chicago, even with 2 strikes, they don't look like, a number of them don't look like they're trying to shorten up their swing to put it in play. They're still looking to do some damage. swing by Schwarber was a pretty good indication of that. See that with Rizzo. See that with Bryant.
Rizzo at second, Bryant at first, both on walks. Overthrown breaking pitch. Full count now.
Mentioned this inning being a big inning for Richards and the Angel. This is a big moment right here now on a 3-2 pitch. Muscling up on that slider. It's a good one when he gets it out over the plate. When you overthrow that, it's very difficult to get the hitter to swing at that pitch.
Here's the payoff. Schwarber pulls it over to first. Crone has trouble with it. They only get one. Couldn't get the ball out of the glove. So Rizzo ends up at third. Bryant at second. One out now for Jorge Soler.
One of those plays too is a first baseman most times, and CJ was trying to do so. At least get the force out at second so you can still keep that double play in order. See the baseball not quite corralled in the glove. At that point, just take the out.
Crone in at the cut of the grass at first. Everyone else back. Soler swings through the breaking pitch. Soler bouncer back to the mound his first time up. Garrett's thrown 20 pitches so far here in the fourth. Hit towards short. Simmons can't come up with it. Rizzo will score. Bryant's going to be stopped at third. The throw comes all the way home, and it's 2-0 Cubs.
So there you can see that talent he has. It's not an easy thing to do to be able to get that baseball by Simmons. Brought his hands inside that baseball well enough to get the barrel of the bat on it. And the diving play by Simmons just by him for a base hit RBI for Soler.
Runners at the corners, still one out. They got Montero at the plate, the catcher. He struck out there in the second. Command spotty for Garrett here in the fourth. 2 walks to start the inning. One guy I'd definitely like to add back is the one Chris Bryant. After getting ahead at 0-2. Foul back. Already a tough task with Arrieta on the mound. Got to keep things in check here. You can limit this to just a run. Montero helping out there, chasing the pitch up and away.
Yeah, well off the strike zone.
I like the fact no Charles Nagy. Kind of let the starter kind of figure things out. 1-2. Jam got a piece of it. There's Charles, new pitching coach for the Angels.
He just knows he's overthrown some pitches. Mechanically pretty solid anyhow. Just having that trust not to try to overthrow pitches.
Two 2-0 Cubs. We're in the fourth. One out.
Right off the foot. That was a kind of a hanging breaking ball though from Garrett. Got away with that.
The last two pitches have been a little bit up in the zone. Belt high and above. Both foul balls.
Right off the instep of the foot of Montero. Saw earlier in this inning, Chris Bryant hit one just below his kneecap.
Just inside. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A little bit off the inside corner was the upper part of the strike zone. Just a little bit off that inside corner though. Nice job though by Carlos Perez to keep that there, frame it enough where Ted Barrett thought about calling it. That's how impressive Perez is with the mitt.
Late on the fastball, fouls it off.
High fastball again. A lot of pitches up. That's what, as a hitter, that's where you're looking for something up so you can hit the ball in the air. Now this would be the perfect time if Garrett was comfortable with his changeup to run that changeup down and away, because you get him out in front. That's a ground ball right to Giavotella for a potential double play to finish off the inning.
This will be the 29th pitch thrown in the fourth. And it's upstairs. Full count.
You see right here for Richards, front shoulder just leaked open just a little bit, and that's what brought that elbow down and elevated the fastball off the plate. You want to keep that front shoulder in as long as possible, both as a pitcher and as a hitter. .70 pitches thrown, 29 in this fourth inning for Garrett Richards. Still looking for that ground ball double play.
3-2, chopper to the left side with the shift on. Simmons has it, but it has no play. The run scores, 3-0 Cubs. RBI single for Montero.
See the shift on, and Simmons playing almost right behind the base. Pretty good range to even get to that ball, but the bottom line was it's a fastball that's up, out over the plate. Down, very difficult to make contact. So there's been a number of pitches in this inning where Garrett has got that pitch up in the strike zone. It's the only reason Montero was able to put that one in play.
Addison Russell worked the walk to lead off the third. He has Soler standing at second and Montero at first. Russell, a first-round pick in 2012, the 11th overall selection by the Oakland A's. He was traded to the Cubs in the as part of the Jeff Samardzija trade. No balls, 2 strikes. The Angels start to get action in their bullpen now with Fernando Salas being the first man up. Garrett at 73 pitches now. No balls and 2 strikes on the Cubs shortstop.
Well, how often have we said over the years with Richards, great fastball, that his fastball's better when it's at the knees or just above that, thigh high. Upstairs, you would think you get swing and misses, but it straightens out a little bit, his fastball, when it's above the belt.
Off the plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A frustrating inning for Garrett for sure.
Ton of pitches this inning for Garrett, 34 of them. But still trying to keep it close here.
Full count. And even more frustrating the fact that it really has been the command, not as if he's been knocked around in this inning. The 2 walks and then 2 base hits. Soler hit his well. Montero's was an infield base hit.
6 full counts in the game for Garrett. I think it, especially when you get some early strikeouts, you get into that strikeout mode, and that seems to be the case.
Down goes Russell. He comes back and punches him out for round number 2.
It looked like he didn't overthrow that slider. That one at 89 miles an hour. His front shoulder stayed in there nice and long. Got on top of that and a sharp break to that slider to get a swing and miss. Shoulders in there well, driving right towards the plate. Starts at the knees, ends up in the dirt. Perfect pitch from Richards. Rotation in that pitch. You see this, that little dot when those seams rotate well on a slider. That's how nasty that was.
2 on and 2 outs. Dexter Fowler at the plate. He's 2 for 2. A double in the first with a run scored and a single in the third. Dropped the breaking ball in.
Curveball. Hasn't thrown many of those yet. He's got a good one. And you need those off-speed pitches. Well, he's starting to incorporate his changeup. Curveball also solid. That comes in around 80 to 82 range. The differential in speeds.
Soler does not advance. Thought about it. Angels have Salas ready to go in the bullpen if necessary.
Carlos has done a nice job behind the plate. It's not easy catching Garrett Richards with the movement he has, both with his fastball and the sharp break on his slider. You know you have your work cut out for you as a catcher behind the plate when Garrett Richards is on the mound with all that movement and some serious velocity behind it.
Changeup sails up and away, and it's 2 balls and a strike. The next pitch will be the 40th thrown by Garrett. Fowler's the 7th man to step to the plate here in the 4th.
See how late he was on that fastball, even though the pitch before his changeup was out of the zone. But because of the fastball, after that, the differential in speeds, he's late on it. Again, he's got to think, Garrett, with his changeup, I have to think I'm throwing a fastball and trusting the grip to take the speed off the pitch. And he's getting there. He's throwing a couple good ones tonight. Still a work in progress, but that's a pitch that's going to be very effective for him this year.
Called strike 3. Down goes Fowler. So Richards finishes off the 4th with a couple of strikeouts, but the Cubs add to as they lead at 3-0. Cubs up 3-0, bottom of the 4th inning. The Angels have Nava, Tron, and Pujols coming up. Garrett Richards struggled through that top of the 4th inning, talking things over with Charles Nagy. 41 pitches thrown by Garrett. That's the most in an inning in his career. Previous high 39. He did that in September start last year against Seattle.
And the amazing thing, his stuff was so good, he overthrew some pitches, and that's the reason why that pitch count went as high as it did.
I think you hit the nail right on the head when you talked about racking up 5 strikeouts through the first 3 innings, and all of a sudden feeling like, all right, I got a chance to rack up, double digits, and then kind of get out of your game a little bit.
Again, he can get his strikeouts, but he is not a strikeout type pitcher because his best pitches are down around knee high or below, which is difficult to strike guys out consistently.
Daniel Nava with a fantastic spring. Second career opening day start at left. With a fly ball to center field in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Fouls that one back. Jake Arrieta has not skipped a beat with as much time as he sat on that bench.
And he had that blister issue in spring training. In fantastic shape, works extremely hard. Legs are strong, drives towards the plate very, very well. That modified stretch position he's in, even from with no one on base. Watching Noah Syndergaard doing that. You Darvish. A wasted motion for Jake Arrieta. This drive towards the plate with that back leg.
Cal remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Stark contrast too. If you go back, watch some of those black and white films and pictures of those starting pitchers with the big arm swings and the big leg kick going back before starting the motion.
Hands over the head.
Yeah.
Like Juan Marichal, remember that too. He had that tremendous leg kick too. It's something that even Tyler Skaggs was telling me the other day what he has done. He's not bringing his hands over his head anymore. He's keeping it more compact so you don't have that front shoulder flying open as often because you're more compact.
Trout on deck, then Pujols. 3-0 Cubs. Pulled foul.
See how he's able to balance himself so well and drive towards the plate, keeps his front shoulder level.
Eight pitches thrown to Nava. The 9th gets him swinging. Second strikeout for Jake Arrieta, 1 out.
And now it's time for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia. Mike Trout coming to the plate, going against the Cy Young Award winner Jake Arrieta. Ranked among the top 3 in the American League as far as home runs, runs, walks, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage for Mike Trout last season.
Line down at his first at-bat to Zobrist at second. Takes a breaking ball down low. He had homered in his first at-bat on opening day last 2 seasons.
Against a pretty good pitcher in Felix Hernandez.
Two balls and no strikes. Trout second in the MVP voting last year. Josh Donaldson of the Toronto Blue Jays winning the award. 2-1.
Trout, top 2, 3 of the 4 years, and wins the MVP in Oakland 14.
Check swing foul. Right, that fastball in on the hands. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit allowed for Jake Arrieta. The base hit off the bat of Cole Calhoun in the second. 2-2 now.
Mike Trout last season, second in baseball as far as seeing pitches. 4.37 pitches per at bat for Mike Trout.
Trout goes down swinging, 2 outs.
Pretty good pitch to finish off Mike Trout there. Just go back to a pitch by pitch. But Arrieta starts him off with a curveball out of the strike zone. Another curveball, a little harder one, out of the strike zone, paints a fastball away. Then a fastball runs in, a little 2-seam action, then a high fastball fouled off, and then that changeup down and in. Perfect location, very difficult to make contact with.
Albert pops it up. Rizzo in foul territory, makes the grab, and the Angels go down in order. We head to the 5th with the Cubs up 3-0. Top of the 5th inning, happy opening day, although it hasn't been too happy for the Angels, with the Cubs scoring 1 in the first, 2 in the 4th, and the Angels offense yet to figure out. Jake Arrieta just 3 base runners, a single, a walk, and a fielder's choice for the Angels. Garrett back out to start the 5th. He's got 2, 3, and 4. Hayward, Zobrist, and Rizzo. Jason Hayward 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Good off-speed pitch. That's 1 ball, 1 strike. Great crowd on hand. Of course, whenever the Cubs are involved, there's always going to be Cubs fans in this ballpark, or any ballpark. They travel well. Gates were open early for batting practice.
I was out front there for a while. The atmosphere coming into this ballpark was unbelievable.
Yep. 2 balls and a strike. Angels cannot afford to give up any more runs here. The way Arrieta's thrown through 4 innings. Just 45 pitches for Arrieta through 4. Broken bat roller to C.J. Cron. 1 away.
Still think that's the mindset for Garrett, just think in terms of ground ball out after ground ball out.
Let's check the Angels starter, Angel and Cub starters for tomorrow's ball game. Presented by Honda. John Lester and Andrew Heaney, a couple lefties on the mound.
Yeah, Lester 11-game winner. You're going to hear a lot of bats cracking with that cut fastball he throws inside. Andrew Heaney's throwing the ball very, very well in spring. Solid season last year. Good velocity on his fastball we've seen throughout.
Ben Zobrist 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a double play ball. No. Zobrist originally in the Houston Astros organization, 6th round pick back in 2004. Traded to the Rays in the Aubrey Huff deal. This one, little looper, and Escobar can't come up with it, playing in. Just couldn't set his feet to get any airtime. And it's a 1-out single for Ben Zobrist.
See again, the only man on that left side of the infield, just over the head of Escobar. Talking about shifts. Another time today that Chicago was able to beat the shift.
Anthony Rizzo will bat with a man on. RBI single in the first, a walk with a run scored in the 4th.
Wow, nice play.
Michael Araujo, the Angels PA announcer, with the glove.
Brought the glove. Mentioned the shifts. The Angels last year had 517 shifts put on. Anthony Rizzo last season, 310 shifts put on against him, which is the 10th most in the majors. Again, pretty good shift being put on.
That's a strike and a throw to first. Got him. Nice throw by Carlos Perez. 2 down.
3 pickoffs last year for Carlos Perez. First of this new season. Quick throw. Good quick tag also by C.J. Cron as he tried to bring that arm back, Zobrist, and be able to sneak that other hand in. The tag applied before, so.
Fouls it off. Count remains at 1-2. And just to pay off the defensive shifts against a particular player, Chris Davis of the Orioles had the most shifts in Major League Baseball put on him. 567 plate appearances. He faced a shift. One, 2. Foul back.
You know, sometimes it works, but again, we've talked about it before, where you're forced as a pitcher to make those pitches to pitch that defensive shift. If you make a mistake, just put the ball and play the other way, it's going to be a base hit most times.
And the Angels were right in the middle of the pack in Major League Baseball as far as shifts that they put on. 517 of them throughout the course of the year. A surprising number. Cubs were 25th in Major League Baseball. They only put on 306.
That's so
defensive
surprising.
shifts.
It seemed like Joe Maddon was already in the process of doing that quite a bit when he was down there in Tampa. I think a lot really depends on your pitching staff, especially when you have a guy like, say, John Lester. There's a lot of those cut fastballs in. It's difficult, especially against right-handed batters. Lefties going away against to be able to put those shifts on consistently.
Two balls and 2 strikes.
They're getting real close to that pitch count where Mike Scioscia's going to think in terms of maybe allow him to try to finish off Rizzo. If not, we might see some bullpen action. Maybe able to finish it off and give himself a chance to pick up a W if the offense can come through in the bottom of the 5th.
2-2 now. This one out toward left center field, tailing away from Trout. Got a good jump on it. He'll make the catch. And the Cubs are done here in the 5th. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. 3-0 Cubs. Presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. The bottom of the 5th inning, the Angels down by the score of 3-0. Calhoun, Crone, and Simmons here trying to start off the 5th inning and trying to solve Jake Arrieta. More than likely Garrett's last inning, you'd think, right? Based on pitch count.
Yeah, it's still early in the season like this. You don't want to stretch him out too far, but numbers wise, not perfect for Garrett, but his stuff was electric. I think you're going to see his next time out where he's just a little more under control as far as not trying to overthrow some pitches, but other than that, his stuff was very, very good. Arrieta, this his usual self again.
One ball, 1 strike on Cole. Single to right field in the 2nd inning. Was stranded at first. Lifted down the line, slicing towards the seats. upstairs.
It's one thing in the scouting report, obviously, on Cole was last season. Chased a lot of high fastballs. Nice job laying off that one.
It's up and away. It's down and in. It's just all 4 quadrants of the strike zone for Jake Arrieta.
Just 50 pitches thrown. 35 of them strikes. And a lot of them down and in, up and away. Avoided the middle part of the plate almost the entire season last year, especially the second half. Done so far tonight too.
2-2. Breaking pitch toward the middle. Zobrist goes to the backhand. One down. Every fan matters when the Angels take on the Texas Rangers this Thursday at 7:05. That kicks off a 4-game series against the Angels. Fans in attendance will receive a commemorative Trout Pujols double bobblehead courtesy of Pechanga Resort and Casino while supplies last. Visit Angels.com to purchase your tickets today. C.J. Cron 0 for 1 in a fly ball to right field in the second inning.
Well, I just need one of those big hits right here to get the fans back into this game. Arrieta really has quieted down these stands.
Three strikeouts and a walk. 1 hit allowed. That was the Calhoun single in the second.
Boy, last season for Jake Arrieta, 79.7% of first batters that faced in an inning, he retired them. Done that quite a bit already today. What it does, by getting that first batter out, you're always feeling comfortable you get through the inning without too much damage.
Ground ball to the right side. 2 down. Salas will come in to pitch the 6th. Richards done after 5 innings, it appears. 6 hits, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks though. 2 big ones that started off the 4th inning. Fell behind on Rizzo, but he got ahead of Chris Bryant 0-2 before walking him. Those 2 runs, those 2 base runners, I should say, came around to score.
Yeah, I think when Garrett looks back at the tape of this game, and this stuff was good. That 0-2 pitch, the high fastball to Bryant, followed by another high fastball, and all of a sudden his mechanics got a little bit out of whack on that one.
Fouled back. Oh, 2 count. Simmons flips one over to second. A 1-hopper to Zobrist. Halos go down in order. 5 in the books. 3-0 Chicago.
Garrett Richards, stuff at times tonight, electric. And a great slider, a swing and miss, electric slider down in the strike zone. Starts at the knees and ends up below the strike zone. Outstanding stuff, especially when he kept that front shoulder, and that fastball was also good going away. Mixed in some pretty good changeup, but his slider was his pitch he went to today to get a swing and miss. 7 punch outs in the game for Richards, including one looking there.
Ended up lasting 5 innings and departs with a 3-0 deficit as Mike Scioscia hands the ball off to Fernando Salas. It's already in and out, who's in, who's out. Fernando, 30-year-old, will be 31 next month, native of Mexico. Pitching in his 3rd season with the Angels. Last year pitching 72 games. That was a career high for him. 5-2 and a 4.24 ERA. Had 61 hits allowed in 63 and 2/3 innings. Struck out 74 though and walked just 12.
Good fastball rushing up there, 89 to 93 range. Solid changeup. His go-to pitch, slider. That's where he gets most of his strikeouts.
Chris Bryant, Kyle Schwarber, and Jorge Soler there in the 3rd. Or this is the 3 here in the 6th inning, I should say. Wish he could go back to the 3rd.
Yeah.
Still be a 1-0 deficit.
You could probably do that.
But the way Arrieta is pitching tonight, 1-0 seems like 5-0.
Again, you also got to remember, though, especially early in the season, pitch count becomes an issue for managers. And even though he's throwing the ball well and his pitch count is manageable, you might see him go an inning or 2 more. And then you go down to the bullpen. So you got to keep it close here if you're Fernando Salas, have a chance to win late.
One ball, 2 strikes. The Cubs' 3rd baseman. Bryant struck out in the 1st inning, walked and scored in the 4th. 2nd overall selection in 2013 at the University of San Diego. Down goes Bryant, 1 away.
And nice job as far as his balance. Out in front of that good changeup. And you spot that fastball on the outside part of the plate, followed up with a changeup. Even though a lot of times right-handed pitchers will throw sliders more than changeups, it's still very effective, especially with location.
Kyle Schwarber 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Good fastball at 92. No balls and 2 strikes. Opponents at 249 against Fernando last year. He had troubles with lefties at 271 against Fernando. Righties just 232. Guy that fared much better with a clean inning to start, as opposed to coming on with men on base. Opponents at 283 when he came on in those situations with runners on.
And he has that good sneaky fastball. I remember Dino Evil telling one time about sometimes it's difficult for hitters to pick up that arm slot he throws his fastball at. Especially when he can rear back and let it go. 322 strikeouts in 315 career innings for Fernando. Again, it's not 98 miles an hour on the fastball, but when you hide the fastball well, hitters don't see it right away, difficult to hit.
Laid off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Garrett Richards, by the way, ended up throwing 97 pitches. He was hurt by that prolonged 4th inning in which he threw 41 pitches. It hit. Basically averaged in the other 4 innings, just a little over 13 pitches per inning.
Amazing thing about that inning, only 1 ball was hit hard. Couple walks, especially when he was ahead of the count. We mentioned with Chris Bryant. Even Anthony Rizzo, he threw some quality pitches to him before he ended up walking him.
Schwarber takes a called strike 3, 2 down. Back-to-back strikeouts for Fernando.
That's that sneaky fastball inside part of the plate. That's worthy of a Carl Scam replay on that fastball from Fernando Salas. Hides it well. And then fastball, bam, right on the inside part of the plate. Good job as far as keeping that mid out there for Carlos Perez. Barrett rings him up.
Two down, nobody on. Jorge Soler at the plate. He gave the Cubs a 2-0 lead with a base hit to left in the 4th. 1 for 2 night. Couple of games still being played out in Arizona. Colorado leading the Diamondbacks 7-5. Zach Greinke's debut at home.
Game seemed like it's to be played out in Colorado, 7-5 in the 5th.
And it was early too. White Sox leading the Oakland A's at the Coliseum 4-3 in the 6th. A couple of games postponed today. Yankees hosting the Astros. Indians hosting the Red Sox. Texas defeated Seattle 3-2. Baltimore go over Minnesota by the same score.
By the way, Bryce Harper another home run on opening day.
Three balls and a strike. The Nationals won that one, huh? They tied it up against Jason Grilli in the 9th.
And he won in the 10th inning, 4-3.
Almost got out of it, by the way. He had loaded the bases with nobody out, got a strikeout. Forget who the batter was. With the base loaded, a fly ball to shallow center field for out number 2. They tagged. They had Worth out at the plate. Catcher couldn't hang on to the ball, so they ended up tying it. Full count. A couple of crooked scores. Giants beat the Brewers 12-3, and the Dodgers, man, 15-0 over the Padres.
And they got that. He went for that 2-point conversion, got 15. Giants hit 4 home runs today.
This was fouled back. Montero on deck.
That's a good changeup. We've seen a number of Cubs hitters dealing with pitches running inside, hitting the ball off their leg, foot. Bryant, saw earlier, Schwarber, now Soler on this changeup.
The back leg, huh? And he walked him. So 2-out walk. It's the 4th walk issued by the Angels tonight. And here comes Montero, the catcher, is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Well, not the way you wanted things to go to start the 2016 season. Although still plenty of time.
One thing we saw a lot in spring, they came back a lot in games. So you're certainly in a position where you can do so if Fernando gets through this inning.
.20 pitches for Fernando here in this 6th inning. Took over for Garrett Richards. Ended up going 5 tonight. One now. And that is out toward right field and hit well. Cole will watch this one go. A 2-run home run for Miguel Montero, and it's 5-0 Cubs. The dreaded 2-out walk, Gooby.
And it came back in the third inning, the leadoff walk. So a couple of walks, 3 of the 4 walks today that happened for Angel pitchers against Chicago have scored. This break down the heart of the plate. Montero knew he got that one good. And that's the one thing for Fernando. He's thrown the ball well wearing an Angel uniform, but at times when he makes that mistake over the middle of the plate, there's been some damage done.
Gave up 8 home runs in 72 games last year. Gives up his first this year. And it extends the Cubs lead. 5-0 here in the 6th inning. Addison Russell with a walk and a strikeout. He drives one out to straightaway center field. Trout racing back. And just shy of the track, stepping on to the cinders, makes the catch for the 3rd out. But the Cubs extend the lead 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Mercury Insurance. On a mission to save you money. Log on to MercuryInsurance.com today to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Bottom of the 6th inning. Halos are trailing it by the score of 5-0. Perez Giavatella. Yunel Escobar going to face Jake Arrieta. We welcome you to a broadcast booth for the first time in 2016. Wish we had better news for you, but they're facing the reigning National League Cy Young Award winner, and we've seen why he won the Cy Young.
Yeah, Victor, the hitters have had to adjust to pitches going inside, outside. He has avoided the middle part of the plate throughout his entire game. He did it last year. He's certainly doing it again this season. No mistakes over the middle of the plate.
That means on the pitching side, you've got to be perfect, and the Angels just haven't been there so far.
Little two-seamer once again on the inside corners, going inside, outside. Mixing in a very good breaking ball, whether it's a hard slider slash cutter, curveball, changeup.
Carlos Perez with a walk to lead off the 3rd inning. Foul back. Three strikeouts, one walk, and just one hit allowed for Jake Arrieta. The only ball that's left the infield was back in the second. Cole Calhoun singled to right.
It's one walk, three punch outs. Again, another first batter faced in an inning for Arrieta, and another out. He did that tremendously last year. He got away with a high breaking ball right here, curveball, but it's the speed of the pitch. And you see that as a hitter, you think that's a hittable pitch, but it's tough to bring your hands up and then through the baseball when it's elevated like that. Again, last year, first batter faced in an inning retired 79.7% of the time for Jake Arrieta. 5 of 6 so far in this game.
Givatello's 0 for 1 as he reached on a fielder's choice in the third.
Batters faced, 14 of them first pitch strikes. Under control so far tonight for Jake Arrieta.
46 of 64 total pitches for strikes. Back up the middle and glove by Arrieta. 2 down.
Going back to my Hyundai Key, talk about this atmosphere. Cubs, Angels being epic so far in this game. Jake Arrieta has been epic. Being able to throw his pitches exactly where he wants and fields his positions well, keeping everything away from that middle part of the plate. Looking for one mistake here just to get going, get that confidence going against them. Certainly a guy that will jump on the first pitch here in Escobar. See if he can get a fastball and do some damage with the first pitch.
Escobar 0 for 2 with the bouncer back to the mound at a double play ball. He lined into a double play that ended the third inning. Check swing, did not go.
That's pretty close in that sequence. Fastball away, 2-seam to bring it back to the outside corner, slow curveball, and then a slider. 3 different pitches, all again avoiding the middle of the plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Yunel Escobar, the leadoff man and new third baseman. Ground ball to second. Make that 10 in a row. Retired by Jake Arrieta. 6 complete. And it's all Cubs so far tonight. 1-0 in this one on the opening night of the 2016 season. It has been all Chicago Cubs on the offensive side. They have a total of 7 hits. 1 long ball, and that came in the last inning against Fernando Salas. Miguel Montero with a 2-run blast. It extended the Cubs lead to 5-0. That chased Fernando Salas. He's done after 1. As Mike Scioscia goes to the bullpen and brings in Cam Bedrosian. Made the ball club opening day roster. Bedrosian is going to face the top of the order here. Fowler, Hayward, and Zobrist. Last year, 34 games, a 1-0 record, and a 5.40 ERA. And what does Cam need to do this year? Now he's got some experience in the big league level, and obviously he's got the lineage with his dad, Steve Bedrosian. But to take that next step for him here at the big league.
Yeah, early in camp, he was still kind of overthrowing pitches, but he made a little bit of an adjustment in his mechanics, and he really, over his last 7-8 appearances, he really started hitting his spots with his fastball. Big thing for me with Cam is not overthrowing his breaking ball. He's got a good changeup too when he uses it.
Fowler rips the first one past Johnny Giavotella, and it's a 3-hit game for the Cubs leadoff man, jumping on that fastball.
Again, it's a fastball that's upstairs.
Right fielder, number 22, Jason Hayward.
Well, Fowler has 3 hits tonight. Hayward has gone hitless. 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Hold 1. Bedrosian, a first-round pick, 29th overall back in 2010. Mentioned the 34 games he pitched in last year. 2014 got 17 big league games under his belt. Good stuff. It just has not translated yet at the major league level.
Yeah, he has closer stuff. Again, you got to hit spots though.
Cam, 24 years of age. One ball, 1 strike. Garrett Richards, 5 innings tonight, 3 runs on 6 hits, 7 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Salas, 1 frame, 1 hit. That was the home run to Montero. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. Good lead for Fowler. He stays at first base, and Hayward bounces this one toward first, and Crone gloves it in foul territory. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Andrew Heaney and John Lester going tomorrow night. 7:05 start. The Angels then have an off day on Wednesday. Texas Rangers come in for the first of 4 beginning Thursday night before the Angels head out on their first road trip, 3-city trip: Oakland, Minneapolis, and Chicago. Lifted into shallow left field. Nava's not going to get there. It'll fall in for a hit. Fowler keeps running. The throw goes to second, and Hayward is in there safely as the throw gets cut off. So a blue double by Jason Hayward. And the Cubs have runners at second and third with nobody out.
It's a good read by Dexter Fowler, too, seeing that ball was not going to be able to be caught on Daniel Nava out in left field. Read that one well, easily cruises into third base. It's a little flare by Hayward. Right down that left field line. Nava gets to it and tries to throw it into second base to be able to get Hayward, but he's already there. Good speed for Jason Hayward.
Dobers 1 for 3 with a base hit in the 5th.
Cross up on that one. Quick conversation now between Carlos Perez and Cam Grosjean, especially with a man on second. Make sure they go through the right signs. Anticipating a breaking ball. Got a fastball 97. That's not the one you want to get crossed up. You want it the other way around. I don't know how he caught that. And he got a strike out of it.
Man.
Talk about those quiet, soft hands behind the plate. That was put to a test there.
Dobers goes down for the first out.
First baseman, number 44, Rizzo.
Good hard breaking ball. Swing and miss. Late break to it. Good location. Nice job by Carlos again behind the plate to keep that in front of him. Finish off Zobrist, a very difficult guy to strike out.
Potentially walk Rizzo here to load them up for Chris Bryant.
Going with the righty versus righty matchup and thinking in terms of potentially getting a ground ball double play.
Last year, Bedrosian allowed a .391 batting average to lefties, .256 to right-handers.
Chris Bryant last year with the bases loaded 3 for 9. Bases loaded with 2 grand slams. And now Cam's looking for that ground ball double play.
And he was better against right-handed pitching last year than he was left-handed pitching. Fowler at third, Hayward at second, Rizzo at first. Corners playing in. First one in for a strike. Time was called. Perez asking for it. Ted Barrett granting it. 5-0 Cubbies. We're in the 7th. No one. Down low. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. Big section of Cubs fans down the right field line. With Bryant at the plate and the bases loaded, they are obviously voicing their pleasure right now. That's in there. 1-2. Breaking ball. Nice block by Carlos Perez.
That was not easy to do so, to keep that in front of him. It was well out in front of Carlos Perez, but got his body squared up very well to keep that from getting away from him. To the left of the plate. Nice job as far as squaring up the body, putting his shoulders, squared him up. He's a chest protector to keep it in front of him.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Bryant grounds this one toward the hole. Simmons goes to the dive, goes on to second. They get the lead runner there. The run scores, and it's 6-0 Cubs as Bryant gets credit with an RBI.
That was a pretty impressive play by Simmons. Good range and quickly try to throw it to second to potentially get a double play, but Bryant runs well. Just to force out at second base. Good range. Quickly jumps up. Good throw over to Giavitello also. Big indication that great range he has, how quickly he got rid of that baseball. But Rizzo right on top of Giavitello, no chance to be able to turn a double play.
2 outs, runners at the corners, and now Kyle Schwarber at the plate. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. 9 hits for the Cubs so far tonight. And the breaking pitch is taken low. 1 ball, no strikes. Halos have Navatron and Pujols coming up at the bottom of the 7th. Facing a right-hander that has been lights out in the first 6 innings, and Jake Arrieta. This one ripped, and Johnny Giavitello with a diving snag retires Kyle Schwarber. That'll do it. The Cubs add 1. It is stretch time here at the Big A. Chicago Cubs leading the Angels by the score of 6-0. And we're going to stick around here as we honor America with the singing of God Bless America.
Joining us behind home plate, we welcome the United States Air Force's 452nd Air Mobility Wing out of the historic March Field in Riverside. Tonight's air crew are from the 729th Airlift Squadron. And now, prior to singing Take Me Out to the Ballgame, please join Malia Savets in singing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Cubs leading the Angels in the 2016 opener. It's 6-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. Daniel Nava, Mike Trout, and Albert Pujols coming up for the Angels. Hey folks, this week only T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.tv Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now. It gets you every moment on America's fastest growing LTE network. Ball one on Daniel Nava. New left fielder for the Chicago Cubs. Matt Caesar takes over in left for Kyle Schwarber.
And when you're around the plate, you get those borderline pitches called. Just looking at Fox tracks here up in our booth. That was a little bit off the outside corner, but he's been consistent throwing strikes at that borderline call.
Nava loops one out to center field. Fowler coming in, and that ball bounces in there. It's a leadoff single for Nava. First base runner for the Angels since the 3rd inning, just his 2nd hit tonight.
Fowler tries to come in and make that play just before hitting the outfield grass. Short hops it. Being a single for Daniel Nava. And Mike Trout a chance now with a base runner on.
Trout a line out and a strikeout, so he is 0 for 2. 4 punch outs for Arrieta. 1 walk. And now 2 hits allowed. On the outside corner.
It's that hard slider.
Evens up the count. The Angels have yet to get a man to second base tonight. .74 pitches for Arrieta. The 75th catches the outside corner.
Yeah, inside, outside, fastballs, breaking balls. Right now, Jake Arrieta is working on a streak of 20 straight quality starts with 4 or more strikeouts. Potentially now with 21.
And Trout goes down swinging, 1 away. On with the breaking pitch.
Curveball starts above the belt. It's up just above the dirt. Especially the speed differential. Stays on top. 12-6 break with his curveball.
We've talked about it over the years how effective Jared Weaver has been throwing across his body. Jake Arrieta has certainly turned the corner with his delivery and with all the movement on his pitch.
Chris Bosio, the pitching coach for the Cubs, has done a nice job. He just said, hey, just let him go. Baltimore tried to refine his delivery a little bit, try to get him more straight towards the plate. They decided, the Chicago Cubs, just to let him be the way he is. That deception thrown across your body. And that is a nasty curveball.
Caught the outside corner, 0-2 on Albert. Pujols, a fly ball to left and a pop up to first base in foul territory. Albert fouls it back. Daniel Nava with a leadoff single over at first base. 0-2 now. He really gets on top of that breaking pitch.
And no real difference between his stretch position when he throws the baseballs compared to even the full windup.
Is that why you're seeing more guys do that modified windup?
I think so, especially if you know your legs are strong, you can still drive towards the plate. That you don't need to bring your hands over your head. You can stay more compact and your front shoulder stays in longer.
Two balls, two strikes.
And by going with this delivery, it really requires you have strong legs. You see Arrieta doing, you Darvish, Noah Syndergaard, all those guys strong lower body where they can drive towards the plate.
Albert goes down swinging, 2 down.
That time he throws a slider to get a swing and miss. Jake Arrieta last year on his all-speed pitches, hitters hit 162 against him. Off-speed pitch right there. Gets a swing and miss. See how he drives towards the plate, even though it's a modified delivery, even from the stretch, he drives with that back leg going forward to be able to generate that arm strength and arm motion to be able to make quality pitches. Good differential as far as speed in his pitches. 96 on the fastball, 78 on that slow curveball. Nearly 20, 18 miles per hour.
Put on a pitching clinic tonight, as he did most of last season.
Well, we knew coming in this game it was going to be one of those nights where you have to keep it close. And Richards had outstanding stuff himself tonight. Just a couple of walks, really the difference in the game. And Arrieta so good as far as avoiding that big inning going against him, or even getting anybody to second base so far.
Cole's 1 for 2 tonight with a base hit. In the hole at no balls and 2 strikes. Angels have Mike Morin getting ready to bullpen. Cubs have action at their bullpen. Jason Grimm getting ready. Arrieta's at 85 pitches now. Misspoke. Justin Grimm. My apologies to the entire Grimm family.
Outstanding as far as pitch count each and every inning. First and third is 8 pitches thrown.
Get on the hands, rolls it foul. The count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cubs with a run in the first, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh. Two now. Cue shot. A frustrating night for the Angels offense. struggled last year. Changing things around this season. Or I should say the offseason for this season. They're facing Marietta tonight. This will bounce over to first. Rizzo's got it. And the Halos are down here in the 7th. We'll head to the 8th. Cubs up 6-0.
Have to break out that rally monkey a little earlier than expected, but we are here for you as we will be post-game as well. I'm Jeannie Zalowska. I'll be joined by Jose Mota and Tim Salmon. Coming up on the SoCal Mazda post-game report, we're going to bring all the sights and sounds of opening day from the Big A, and of course, Garrett Richards getting the start tonight, his first opening day start. The good and the bad and the ugly, guys. That is Jake Arrieta just breaking that down as well. Interesting as he rolled into this one as we continue from 2015. 13 consecutive regular season starts, allowing 2 or fewer runs. Joe Maddon had said he's going to pull him back a little bit, especially in the opener here, but he may be flirting with the idea of sending him back out, let him finish it up.
He has been absolutely nasty, Jeannie. We appreciate it, and he has been as advertised. We didn't get a chance to see much of him, or haven't seen much of him the last couple of years, being in the National League. We saw him early on in his career with the Baltimore Orioles, but what a transformation the young man has made, and he's done a terrific job. He just stymied this Angels offense tonight. He has not skipped a beat from last year.
No, and he's, like I said, he's never missed in the middle part of the plate this entire game. Sliders down and away, fastballs in, fastballs away.
It's the bottom third of the order for the Cubs here in the 8th. Halos down 6-0. Mike Moore pitched in 47 games last year. 4.2 mark, 6.37 ERA. Facing Soler, Montero, and Russell. Soler 1 for 2, a ground down, an RBI single, a walk, and a run scored. He's Joe Maddon's DH tonight. More than likely DH again tomorrow. The Angels have a lefty on the mound, as do the Cubs. Lester against Heaney. Changeup from Moore, misses down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Moore takes over for Cam Bedrosian, who went 1, gave up 1, 2 hits, a strikeout, 1 intentional walk. 5 walks in the game for the Angels. 3 by Richards, 1 each by Salas and Bedrosian. 3 of those walks have come around to score.
Chicago worked the walk a little bit last year, on base percentage of .321. So they will swing and miss, but they're also patient to try to put themselves in good counts to do some damage.
Two and 2. 2-2 now. Got him. The fastball upstairs, 1 down.
He's trusted his fastball a lot more. We saw in spring training, and that's going to help out with his changeup.
Every moment matters. Join us this Saturday at 6:05 p.m. as the Angels take on the Rangers and enjoy a post-game Saturday night fireworks show presented by Wells Fargo. Visit angels.com to purchase your tickets today. One down, nobody on, and here's Miguel Montero. 2-hit game for the Cubs catcher. 3 RBIs, a single and a 2-run blast. Changeup pulled out toward right off the end of the bat. 2 down.
Such a good pitch. That came in at 71 miles an hour. The changeup. Mike Warren, that's something he has to work on, and he did so in spring training as far as getting left-handed batters out. There's 2 different types of changeups. One is he throws left-handed batters that run away, and more of a cut changeup he throws to right-handed batters.
Addison Russell with a walk, a strikeout, a fly ball to center, so he's 0 for 2. Fouls this one off. Warren ahead of the count, and no balls, 2 strikes. This one's out to right. Cole was playing shallow. 1, 2, 3 go the Cubs. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. 6-0 Chicago. Six nothing Cubbies, not what you wanted to hear on opening night for the Angels, if you're an Angel fan, of course, as we begin the bottom of the 8th inning. And maybe a light at the end of the tunnel. Jake Arrieta is done after 7 innings.
Sometimes that's a plus when the starter's dealing like that. He's out of the game because it's early in the season. You don't want to stretch out your starter too far as far as the game. Pitch is thrown. But Grimm also throws pretty firm himself. He's got a fastball 93 to 97. Also slider and very good curveball.
Arrieta struck out 6, walked 1, allowed 2 hits. The Angels have not had a man reach second base tonight. Grimm, a 27-year-old native of Tennessee, originally in the Texas Rangers organization. As Crone drives one out to deep right center field. Hayward pulls up, and this one's off the wall. Crone Hustling on his way to second. He is in there with a leadoff double.
What a great swing from C.J. Cron, hitting that ball the other way. Lines out with high off the wall in right field. Fastball was down but over middle part of the plate. What a perfect swing. Stayed back on that one well. Just missed hitting off the wall. Just missed hitting it over the wall for it to have been a home run.
17 doubles last year for C.J. Cron. Picks up his first of this year.
It was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, first pitch swinging.
Andrelton Simmons 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a groundout. It's jammed and hits one to Rizzo at first base. One out. That advances Cron over to third.
See some aggressive swinging now against Grimm after Jake Arrieta threw the ball so well. Jake Arrieta with that quality start with 4 or more strikeouts ties the record as far as since 1920 in the live ball era as far as quality starts with Johan Santana, Pedro Martinez, and Bob Gibson. 21 straight quality starts for Jake Arrieta tonight.
Man at third for Carlos Perez. Breaking pitch is fouled off. Carlos with a walk and a strikeout is 0 for 1. One around. And it's 0-2. Pedro Strop getting ready for Chicago. I think Ron Rennick thrilled to have somebody over at third base to talk
to have a conversation.
Oh, Cottonmouth through 7 innings. Breaking pitch, line to third, 2 outs. Squared up by Carlos, but right to Chris Bryant.
Good prep step by Bryant and a line drive right at him. Gets it just before it hits the dirt.
So 2 outs. Cron still at third base. Johnny Giavotella. Johnny 0 for 2. The fielder's choice and a bouncer back to the mound. Ground ball toward the middle. Russell to his left has it. Straightens up. Throws out Giavotella and the Angels. Lead off double stranded on base. We enter the 9th inning with Chicago on top. Chicago, folks, you can follow the Angels baseball live all season long with MLB.com at Bat App. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Just download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone or tablet. New pitcher on for the Angels. Mike Moore, by the way, went 1 inning in the 8th, and it was a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout. Corey Rasmus takes over here. 16 games last year. At 1 start. 5.23 ERA. He's scheduled to face the top of the order for the Cubs.
Healthy this spring too. 4 quality pitches. Fastball 90-95 range. Very good changeup, slider, and curveball.
Big game for Dexter Fowler. 3 for 4 with a double, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. Oh, 2. Garrett Richards tonight gave up 3 runs in his 5 innings of work. Was hurt by the 41 pitch 4th inning. Breaking ball missing low.
And going back to his overall stuff, he had excellent stuff today. Just overthrew some pitches. Other than that, certainly a lot to build on for Garrett, especially the chimes through some decent changeups. Still a work in progress. Slider was excellent.
Fastball up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Six runs, 9 hits, 6 men left on base for the Cubs. No runs, 3 hits, 3 left on for the Angels. Full count. Jason Hayward on deck. 3-2, and he walked him.
It's the one thing the Angels want to clean up, the pitchers, as far as number of times get ahead of the count 0-2, and then all of a sudden ends up being a 3-2 count. You want to try to finish off those hitters as quickly as possible, especially when you're ahead of the count 0-2. Sometimes you end up trying to be too fine and overthrow some pitches.
6th walk issued by the Angels tonight. That is hammered out to straightaway center field. Trout moving back and onto the track will make the catch. 1 out. Some sound off the bat of Jason Hayward, who is now 1 for 5 on the night. One out and 1 on for Ben Zobrist. Zobrist has had a 1 for 4 game with a single. Ahead of the 9th inning, the Angels will have the top of their order coming up. Escobar, Nava, Trout. Travis Wood getting ready. Pulled foul. 0-2. Hooked foul. A breaking pitch out in front. Foul back.
Nice presentation.
Pretty good lead for Fowler at first base, leading off this 9th inning with a walk. Two other games that are still being played up in Oakland. Chicago, the White Sox leading the A's 4-3. This one's back up the middle and a base hit. Fowler will turn and head to third. Two-hit game now for Ben Zobrist. Ten hits overall for the Cubs. First and third for Anthony Rizzo. The other game still being played is in Arizona. 7-5 Rockies over the Diamondbacks in the 8th. Here 6-0 Chicago. Rizzo tonight has been on board 3 times with an RBI single, a couple of walks, and he has scored 1 run. One of those walks intentional.
Challenged with a fastball inside to try to jam him. Did so. The ball out of play though.
Oh, 2. There's one thing that goes back as you go back and look at this game tonight, aside from the walks, which are obvious, not finishing off hitters. We've had a lot of 0-2 counts, it seems.
Especially when you're ahead like that, you're in command as a pitcher at that point. I could see maybe a fastball a little bit off the outside corner and finish them off right after that. You want to get your outs when you're on the mound in around 3 pitches, maybe 4 pitches if you can. The more pitches a hitter sees, the better opportunity they're going to be successful.
This is popped up to shallow center. Simmons drifting out is there. Fowler's not going anywhere.
Nice job of getting behind that baseball too, Simmons did, even though he had to go a long way. Make sure to put himself in position to make a throw to the plate if he had to.
So 2 outs, runners remain at the corners. Chris Bryant now up. Also too, with Fowler not even bluffing at third. Decent speed for Fowler. Reputation there.
Yeah, when we showed that little thing the other night where he's throwing 98 in college. Simmons has a great arm, and they know him well from the National League days.
Pretty good slider. 1 ball, no strikes. Bryant with a couple of strikeouts, a walk and a fielder's choice. Did pick up an RBI with that fielder's choice in the 7th.
Another good off-speed pitch from Rasmus.
Eleven strikeouts for the Angels pitchers tonight. So it's a lineup that can be pitched to. They'll make some outs, but you can't give anything to them because they'll take advantage of it as well. 1 and 2.
Going back to those walks, 3 of them have scored tonight.
Fowler over at third base. Zobrist at first. So Travis Wood will pitch the 9th inning for Chicago. Escobar, Nava, and Trout coming up for the Angels. Check swing. Did not go. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Game 1 of 162. It's been all Cubs so far tonight.
As well as you've been swinging the bat in spring, when you face a guy like Jake Arrieta and he's on his game, very difficult task to put together a bunch of hits in a row to score some runs.
Full count. I mean, if you want to look at one batter that Jake Arrieta faced, there was any type of hiccup through his 7 innings. Carlos Perez leading off the 3rd, a 4-pitch walk. That's it. He was commanding the zone on everybody else.
Very smart guy, athletic.
Another walk. Ahead of the count, and yet another walk. 2 here in the 9th inning for Rasmus. They're loaded up for Caesar. Caesar getting his first at bat. Took over defensively for Kyle Schwarber out in left field. Caught the outside corner.
That hard slider catching the corner.
Foul tipped. Caesar, a 5th round pick in 2010 for the Cubs. A couple of cups of coffee at the big league level the last 2 seasons. Missed inside. Native of Cape May, New Jersey. No place to put him. Fowler at third base. Zobrist at second, and Bryant at first. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's pulled down the left field line, and it's going to get down and go for extras. Off the wall. 2 runs in. Bryant being waved in. It's a bases clearing double for Matt Caesar. It opens it up even more so for the Chicago Cubs. It's 9-0. An off-speed pitch right over the heart of the plate.
Get ahead of the count, an opportunity to finish off a batter instead of mistake. Right down the heart of the plate, stay back. Caesar stayed back very well on that one, hooked it right down the line, right at that 347 sign.
Charles Nagy pays the visit to the mound for the first time tonight. 180 total pitches thrown by the Angels tonight. Jorge Soler at the plate. He's the DH. And it's ball 1 from Rasmus. One ball, one strike. Soler tonight is 1 for 3 with a single, a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. Eleven hits tonight for the Cubs, 3 for the Angels. Caesar over at second base. Pulled toward third, and Escobar bobbles it. No play. An error by Yunel Escobar. When it rains, it pours, right, Gooby?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just got to give it credit to the opponent and just try to be able to get something positive at the end here when you hit the bottom of the ninth and to get ready for the game tomorrow. Get some swings together, get the timing back. So many impressive swings we saw for about 3 straight weeks towards the end of spring training.
Miguel Montero with a 2-run home run in the 6th inning, an RBI single in the 4th. He fouls this one at the plate. Well, get the ugly one out of the way early, right?
Exactly.
John Lester on the mound tomorrow for the Cubs. Andrew Heaney going for the Angels.
Everyone that ends up losing that first game of the year will always say we weren't going to go undefeated anyhow. Long season. But these games are important in the month of April. We've seen that.
.35 pitches thrown by Corey here in the 9th inning. Montero, the 8th man to face him. He foul tips that one to the mid. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's Cubs 9, Angels nothing. Team up with Surf Rider Foundation in celebration of this month's Every Day's Earth Day initiative. By making simple changes in our daily lives, we can make a big impact on our environment. Just go to foxsportsupports.com to learn more about what you can do to be part of the solution. All Cubs tonight Halos down 9-0 here in the bottom of the 9th inning on opening night. Travis Wood, the left-hander, takes over. Want to remind you also, baseball's back, and FS1 starts the season Thursday as Prince Field and the Rangers take on Mike Trout and the Angels. It's all in America's home for baseball all season long. FS1 or watch it live on Fox Sports Go.
Alex Wood, fastball, 87-92 range, with always slider, cut fastball, curveball, and changeup.
Travis Wood on the mound here to face the Angels here in the bottom of the 9th. 5-4 record, a 3.84 ERA, 54 games for the left-hander. Escobar fouls it back. 0 for 3 tonight in his Angels debut. Craig Gentry will make his debut tonight. He's come out to the on-deck circle. He'll pinch hit for Daniel Nava.
We're likely to see Gentry tomorrow night against the lefty, John Lester.
Bouncer to short. One down. So Craig Gentry will step up.
11 ground ball outs for Chicago pitching tonight against the Angels.
Stick around. Angels Live post game. We'll wrap this one up. Jeannie Zelasco, Jose Mota, Tim Salmon. Angels Live will kick things off tomorrow night, 6:30. 7:05 first pitch as Wood delivers a strike. One and one. Grimm went 1 inning for Chicago. 1 hit allowed. The rest zeros. Gentry pulls one foul down the left field line. Gentry takes a called strike, 3-2 down. Halos down to the last out here on opening night.
Well, Travis Wood threw a perfect fastball right down the lower part of the strike zone at 91. Especially as a hitter, you're looking for a number of off-speed pitches. Mentioned that Travis Wood will throw a cut fastball, slider, curve, and a changeup, but he also can paint the fastball.
Trout hitless tonight. We'll look at a strike. Oh, 2 count. Oh, 2 now to Mike. Borderline pitch, misses low, and it is 1-2.
Maybe just a little below the strike zone.
Two balls and 2 strikes.
Andrew Heaney to start tomorrow night.
Trout lifts one out to right. Hayward breaks back on it, is there. And the Angels get shut out on opening day for the first time since 2002. So I guess if you want to look at that as an omen, 9-0 the final tonight.
Well, you're looking for something positive. That's certainly a positive there when they won the World Series in 2002. You got to credit the Chicago Cubs. Came out swinging, took advantage of some walks. Jake Arrieta was absolutely outstanding in his 7 innings as the Cubs shut out the Angels 9-0. Dexter Fowler set the tone early on. Good swings, not miss any fastballs tonight. As the Cubs with 11 hits win this one 9-0.
Jake Arrieta picks up his first win after 22 last year. Garrett Richards suffers a loss. No save tonight as the Cubs shut out the Angels 9-0 the final. Stick around, Angels Live post game is coming up next.